Hello everyone, Dr. Frank LaBanca. Today's task is to create an APA compliant table in Word. So let's get started. So the table and the graphing data is found in the Blackboard. You can find it in the probability and data types unit, and it will be underneath graphing data set. If you click on it, it's going to make a copy for you. So you have your own copy. You can do whatever you want. You're not going to hurt the class data. So in any event, yours is not going to look quite like this because I'm doing something different in the other video, but let's take a look. This is the data I want to make into an APA compliant table. You might recognize it from the previous video where we were looking at positions that got people to the CAO, the Chief Academic Officer, previous positions. So we're going to do this. Now, when you create a table, the first thing you want to do is you want to know what size you want to make. I'm going to use just the data raw. Sometimes you're just putting the data in yourself. So this table happens to be 8 deep and 3 across. So we're going to go to Word. And before you start in Word, I always recommend giving a couple of carriage returns. The reason being, sometimes the table is stuck at the top and you can't get stuff above it, like titles and whatnot. So we're going to insert a table. And that table is going to be 3 columns and 8 rows. And we're going to say, okay, and there it is. So now we've got the layout for the table. Sometimes you type this data in by hand, sometimes you don't. That's ultimately dependent on the situation. So I'm going to grab the data here. Now I've copied the data and I'm going to paste it in here. One of the tricks to pasting data when you have similar cells coming from different places is to highlight the all of the cells for the paste. And I'm going to paste special unformatted text because I don't want it in any particular format. Okay, so now the raw information is in. Now we have to go through the process of the formatting of the table. So now if you look at my table, unlike the other table, my percentages are already in the right decimal form, so I'm happy about that. The first thing we got to do is we got to deal with the lines on the table. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the borders. So I click on the upper left-hand corner, and that'll hide the whole table. And then I take the borders button, and I start with no borders. I think that's the easiest way to do this. It erases everything, and then you can put on what you need to put in. So APA is no vertical lines in APA table. So these vertical lines that are, little dots right now would not print if you were going to print them. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to put a top line and a bottom line. So for the border, I'm going to come back to the border and go bottom and the top. Okay, so now we've got that. The other place you put a border is after your header. So there are my headers. I'm going to put a border underneath there. Okay. And now we're going to look at size. So we've got the top border, the bottom border, and then the bottom of the page border. You can put some intermittent lines in between. I don't think it's necessary in this case. And if you remember from when we last talked, this has to be justified to the right, I'm sorry, the right. So we're going to move that. Now, that doesn't look particularly good. I don't think it spaces out very nicely. It's all the way over here. The title's over here, moving over there. I don't like that very much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my table adjustment to move this over a little bit. I'm going to move this in a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing here because the table doesn't have to go all the way to the end, but it could. Okay, and then in this case, what I'm going to do here is I think I'm going to put that actually to the left. I think it's just going to look the best that way. And I think that looks pretty good. Now, the other things that are missing are the title and the table number. So what you do here is you go up here and you do table 1. And then underneath it, you put the title of the table. Positions leading to Chief Academic Officers at University. Let's go with that. Now, there are a couple of formatting rules that you should know about. Number 1, table 1 should be in bold. And then the title should be in italics. Okay. So that is the formatting of the table. There obviously are some idiosyncrasies if you have some additional fields or whatnot. This is the basic formatting of a table. If you'd like to see a little advanced feature, I'm going to show that to you right now. Not necessary in this case, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this table. See, and V. So this is not necessary. This is only if you want some advanced features and you want to try something different and you're very facile with using Word. I'm going to move this now to the center. And what I want to do is if I highlight the numbers, you will see that up at the top here, the margins move, and I could actually move that right indent to a better position so it's a little more attractive. So I can move it to there. I think there is good. And I did both at the same time. You can do one at a time, however you want to do it. So just another little feature you can use if you want to shift tables in to make the aesthetic. Remember, none of those vertical lines are going to show when you print. So if I go to print, you can see that. I know it's probably hard to see on the screen, but you can see right here, there's no lines vertically. That's the way it's going to print out. So it looks great. Okay, that's how you make a table APA compliant.